My beloved child, stop. Don't move. Don't scroll. Don't you dare close this message. A trap has already been set around your life, and you have 10 seconds to decide if you're going to walk straight into it or let me pull you back. 10, 9, 8. I'm not playing with you right now. 7, 6. Listen to me. 5. If you skip me now, you will lose something you can't get back. 4. Your timing. 3. Your protection. 2. Your breakthrough. 1. Stay with me. God says, if they leave now, the door I opened will close. If they scroll away, the trap will spring. But if they stay until the end, I will show them exactly who set it and how to escape. My child, the moment your eyes landed on this message, heaven leaned in. The angels stopped what they were doing. Your name was spoken out loud in the throne room. This is not a coincidence. This is not random. This message found you because something is hunting you right now, and you don't even see it yet. A snare has been laid. Quiet, invisible, patient. It's been waiting for you to make one wrong move, to trust the wrong person, to say yes to the wrong opportunity, to give up one day too soon. And if you walk away from this word right now, you will step right into it. I'm standing between you and that trap, but I can only hold it back if you stay with me until the very end. Don't skip, don't scroll, don't let go. Before we're done, you're going to see exactly what this trap is, who set it, and why you were the target. You're going to understand why you've been feeling that strange heaviness in your chest, why you've been waking up with unexplained fear, why certain people have been circling your life like vultures. And you're going to walk out of this moment with a shield you didn't have 5 minutes ago, but only if you stay. Heaven is holding its breath. The enemy is watching to see if you'll ignore this. And I'm begging you, don't move. Type, I'm staying in the comments right now if you hear my voice. Let heaven know you're not walking into that trap. Let the enemy know you're protected. Let yourself know you made the right choice. Now breathe. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And what I'm about to show you is going to save your life. I know why you're here. You didn't stumble into this by accident. You were led. And I know what you've been carrying, my child, even if you've never said it out loud. You're tired in a way sleep doesn't fix anymore. You wake up exhausted. You go to bed exhausted. And somewhere in between, you smile, you nod, you say, I'm fine, when people ask. But the truth is, you're running on fumes and faith. And some days, the faith feels thin. Money's been tight. Not because you're reckless. Not because you didn't try. But because life kept taking. Medical bills you didn't plan for. A car that broke down at the worst possible time. Prices that climbed while your income stayed flat. You've done everything right. And somehow, you're still behind. Your body aches in places doctors can't quite explain. They run tests. They shrug. They prescribe something that barely helps. But you and I both know this isn't just physical. This is the weight of years. The weight of grief you never fully processed. The weight of people you loved who aren't here anymore. A spouse, a friend, a version of yourself you barely recognize now. You've buried so much, my beloved child, and nobody sees it. You smile in public because that's what you do. You've been trained to hold it together, but at night, when the house is quiet and the phone doesn't ring, the loneliness is so thick you can taste it. You wonder if anyone even thinks about you anymore. You wonder if you matter. You wonder if this is all there is. Stay with me. I'm describing this because heaven sees it. Every single tear you've swallowed, every prayer you whispered in the dark when you thought nobody was listening, every time you got up and kept going when quitting would have been easier. You think you're invisible, but you're not. God has been watching you this whole time, and there's a reason this season has felt so unfair. There's a reason the weight got heavier. There's a reason the isolation got sharper. You weren't abandoned. You were being prepared. See, the enemy doesn't set traps for people who don't matter. He doesn't waste his time on the weak. He goes after the ones who carry something powerful. The ones who are about to break generational curses. The ones whose breakthrough will shake everything around them. That's you. You didn't know it, but you've been walking through a season of testing, not punishment. And every time you chose to keep going, Every time you chose faith over bitterness, every time you refused to curse God even when life gave you every reason to, you were passing. You were being refined. You were being positioned. And now the trap has been set, because the enemy knows what's coming next. He knows you're close. He knows your season is about to shift. So, he sent confusion. He sent delay. He sent people to drain you, distract you, discourage you. He whispered lies in your ear while you were trying to sleep. You're too old. You're too broke. You're too late. Nobody cares. But those were lies, my child. Every single one. And I'm here to tell you the truth. You are seen. You are valued. You are loved. And you are about to walk into something the enemy tried desperately to keep you from. Don't you dare walk away now. Listen to me closely, my child. I need you to understand something that's going to change the way you see everything you've been through. You were not attacked because you were weak. You were targeted because you are dangerous to darkness. There's a reason your life has felt like a battlefield when everyone else seems to be having a picnic. There's a reason the hits kept coming when you were already on your knees. There's a reason people turned on you for no reason you could name. It wasn't random. It was strategic. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition on people who don't matter. He doesn't set traps for people who aren't going somewhere. He doesn't exhaust, isolate, and attack people who have no assignment on their life. But you, my beloved child, you have something heaven put inside you that hell cannot afford to let loose. That's why it felt endless. That's why help came late. That's why quitting looked reasonable. Because the trap wasn't designed to destroy you outright. It was designed to make you destroy yourself, to make you walk away one day too soon, to make you doubt what God already confirmed, to make you so tired, so hurt, so confused that you just stop moving forward and settle somewhere safe, somewhere small, somewhere quiet, somewhere beneath your calling. That's the trap, my child. Not a loud explosion, a slow leak, not a lion's roar, a whisper in the dark that says, maybe this isn't for you, maybe you heard wrong, maybe you're not strong enough, maybe it's time to let it go. And I'm here to tell you right now, that whisper is a liar. You didn't hear wrong. You're not confused. You're not broken beyond repair. You are a chosen one, and chosen ones don't get easy paths. They get tested in the wilderness. They get refined in the fire. They get pressed until the oil comes out. Because pressure doesn't break the anointed, my child. Pressure reveals what they're made of. Look at Joseph, thrown in a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, lied about, imprisoned for years. You think that was an accident? No, that was preparation. The prison wasn't punishment. It was the waiting room before the palace. The delay wasn't denial. It was development, and every single thing that tried to destroy him became the very thing that positioned him to save nations. That's your story too. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every loss taught you to let go of what wasn't yours. Every disappointment cleared space for something better. Every silent season built strength you didn't know you'd need. You've been in training, beloved, not in punishment, and the enemy knew that if you ever figured that out, if you ever stopped seeing yourself as a victim and started seeing yourself as a weapon, his plan would fall apart. So he set a trap that looks like safety, a trap that feels like relief, a trap that whispers, just stop trying, just give up, just settle. But heaven has seen enough. God looked at the clock, looked at your journey, looked at what's been prepared for you on the other side of this test, and he said, it's time to wake them up. Time to pull them out. Time to show them what's really going on. And that's why you're here, right now, reading these words. Because the trap is about to spring, and you need to see it before you step in it. Stay with me, my child. What I'm about to show you next will blow your mind. Now listen to me very carefully, my child. While you've been suffering in silence, heaven has been building a case. Every tear you cried when no one was looking, recorded. Every betrayal that broke your heart, written down. Every lie they told about you, entered into evidence. You think nobody saw what they did to you, but God saw it all. And today, in the court of heaven, your name was called, not as the accused, as the vindicated, The angels stood when you walked in. Jesus himself rose from his seat, and the verdict came down like thunder. Guilty, not you. Them, the ones who used you, the ones who drained you, the ones who smiled in your face while they plotted your downfall. Heaven has seen enough, and the sentence has been handed down. They don't get to follow you into your next season. They don't get access to your peace anymore. They don't get to watch you rise. The door is closing behind you, and they're being left outside. Not because you cursed them, not because you fought back, but because God said, "Enough." My beloved, do you feel that shift happening right now in your spirit? That sudden lightness in your chest? That's the weight lifting. That's the chains breaking. That's heaven removing what never belonged on you in the first place. And here's what's coming next. Everything they delayed is being released. The opportunity they blocked, it's coming back. The money they manipulated away from you, it's being rerouted. The relationship they poisoned, God is either healing it or replacing it with something better. And listen to this. What was stolen from you is coming back clean. No bitterness attached. No pain attached. No memory of the wound attached. You're going to receive it, and it's going to feel brand new, like it was always meant for you, because it was. Now I need you to understand something. You don't have to fight for this. You don't have to force it. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Heaven is handling it. All you have to do is stay close to me. Keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit open. Keep your eyes on what's ahead, not what's behind. Because while they're dealing with the consequences of what they sowed, you're about to step into the harvest of what you've been faithful through. And my child, that harvest is bigger than you think. It's not just one blessing. It's a flood. Provision you didn't ask for. Favor you didn't earn. Protection you can't see, but you'll feel everywhere you go. Peace that makes no sense considering what you just survived. Joy that rises up in you for no reason except that God decided it's your time. This is the verdict. This is the sentence. This is justice without you lifting a finger. Heaven has moved. The court has spoken. And you, my beloved child, you are free. Stay with me. Don't drift now, because what I'm about to tell you next is how you step into everything that's been released. My beloved child, something is shifting. Right now, as you're hearing these words, a door in the unseen realm is opening. Not with thunder, not with fanfare, quietly, like dawn breaking over a city that's been dark too long. You feel it, don't you? That strange lightness in your chest, that unexpected breath you just took without even thinking about it. That's not relief. That's heaven making room. God says, the cycle that kept them bound is ending. The trap that was set has been dismantled. Now I'm giving them what was stolen, but I'm giving it back doubled. My child, listen carefully. What comes next will not look like what came before. The struggle that defined your last season will not define this one. The people who drained you will not have access to drain you again. The fear that woke you up at 3 a.m. will lose its voice, because you are not entering a better version of your old life. You are stepping into a completely new chapter. And this chapter has a different rhythm, a different weight, a different sound. In the next few weeks, you're going to notice something unusual. A conversation that shifts direction when you least expect it. A phone call that opens a door you thought was welded shut. A sudden clearing in your finances, not massive, but enough to let you breathe without counting every dollar like it's your last. Strength returning to your body in small ways. Your sleep getting deeper. Your mind getting quieter. Your heart getting softer without getting weaker. This is what the new season feels like. It doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It just starts to feel like the ground under your feet is finally solid again. But here's what you need to understand, my child. You are not the same person you were 6 months ago. You survived something that was designed to destroy you. You kept your faith when everything around you said let it go. You stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier. And because of that, you are no longer just a survivor. You are a steward. Heaven is about to trust you with something you couldn't have carried before. Not because you're perfect, because you are prepared. God says, I didn't bring them through the fire to leave them empty-handed. I brought them through the fire to burn off everything that would have blocked what I'm about to release. My beloved, you were overlooked for so long, passed over, underestimated, treated like you were invisible. But that season just ended. You are now under divine protection so thick that the people who used to ignore you will suddenly feel the weight of your presence without you saying a word. You are moving from waiting to moving, from hoping to receiving, from asking to attracting, and the enemy knows it. That's why the trap was set. That's why the attack came so hard right before the breakthrough. Because hell wanted to stop you 3 feet from the finish line. But you didn't stop. You stayed. And now the door is open. Don't leave now, my child. This next part is going to tell you exactly how to walk through that door without losing what heaven just unlocked. Stay with me. Now listen to me very carefully, my child. This is the part where most people lose everything. Not because the enemy wins, not because God changes his mind, but because they can't sit still long enough to let the miracle finish forming. You hear me? The trap is not out there. The trap is in your own impatience. It's in your need to announce what God is doing before it's done. It's in your urge to explain yourself to people who already made up their minds about you. It's in your fear that if you don't force it, it won't happen. And I'm telling you right now, that's exactly how you spring the snare. You walk away 3 days before the breakthrough. You talk yourself out of it 2 hours before the door opens. You convince yourself it was all in your head right when heaven was about to move. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Here's what I need you to do instead. Move slower. I know that sounds crazy when you've been waiting so long, but trust me, slow down your speech. Slow down your decisions. Slow down your need to react to every little thing people say about you. The chosen ones who win are not the loudest. They're the steadiest. Stop chasing validation from people who don't have the spiritual eyes to see what God put in you. You don't need to defend your calling to someone who's never heard from heaven. You don't need to prove your worth to folks who benefit from you staying small. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them watch from a distance while you walk into what they said you'd never have. And another thing, stop going back to explain yourself. I know you want closure. I know you want them to understand why you had to leave, why you had to change, why you couldn't stay in that toxic cycle anymore. But my beloved, some people will never understand because they're still living in the prison you just escaped from. Don't go back into the cell to convince the inmates that freedom is real. Walk out, lock the door behind you, and don't look back. Protect your energy like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Say no without guilt. Say no without a long explanation. Say no because your peace matters more than their comfort. The people who are supposed to be in your next chapter will respect your boundaries. The ones who fight you on it were never meant to come with you anyway. Now, stay spiritually alert, but don't live in fear. There's a difference. Being alert means you're watching, discerning, praying before you move. Being afraid means you're frozen, suspicious of every blessing, waiting for the other shoe to drop. God didn't bring you this far to abandon you at the finish line, but He did bring you this far to teach you how to walk differently. You're not going back to old patterns. You're not going back to people-pleasing. You're not going back to rushing ahead of His timing just because you're tired of waiting. The trap was set to catch you in motion. So stop moving for a second. Be still. Let God fight. Let heaven work. Let the promise unfold without your fingerprints all over it, trying to make it happen faster. This is your season of becoming, and you will not scroll away from it. You will not talk yourself out of it. You will not let impatience steal what patience built. Type "I will wait" in the comments if you're finally ready to let God finish what He started. My beloved child, don't move yet. I need you to hear this before you go. You made it to the end, and that wasn't an accident. Most people scrolled away in the first 10 seconds. They walked straight into the trap, but not you. You stayed. You listened. And because you did, heaven just shifted something in your favor. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, there's a release happening in the spiritual realm. A door that was jammed is creaking open. A blessing that was delayed is starting to move. An enemy that was circling you just lost their footing. You can't see it yet, but it's already in motion. The trap that was set for you has been dismantled. The snare has been cut. The plan against you has collapsed, and the people who thought they had you cornered are about to watch you walk free. But listen to me closely, my child. This protection, this breakthrough, this shift only stays active if you stay connected. If you walk away from this moment and forget what you just heard, the enemy will try again. He'll wait until you're tired, until you're distracted, until you think you're safe, and he'll reset the trap. But if you anchor yourself to this word, if you let it sink deep into your spirit, he can't touch you. So I'm going to ask you to do 3 things right now. Not for me, for your own soul. First, type Amen in the comments. Not as a ritual, but as a declaration. Let heaven hear you say, I receive this protection. I align myself with this word. I'm not walking into that trap. Second, share this message with someone you love. Someone who's been under attack. Someone who's been feeling that same heaviness, that same fear. When you send this to them, you're not just sharing a video. You're breaking the trap over their life too. You're becoming a messenger of heaven. And when you do that, God multiplies the blessing back to you. Third, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Because what I just told you today is only the beginning. The next message I release is going to show you the sign. The specific sign that heaven is about to send you to confirm that your breakthrough is here. If you miss it, you'll wonder why things are taking so long. But if you catch it, you'll know exactly when to move, when to speak, when to step through the door God just opened. You're closer than you think, my child. What you've been praying for in secret is already on its way. The tears you cried last week were not wasted. The prayers you whispered in the dark were not ignored. Heaven heard every single word, and the answer is moving toward you right now, faster than you can imagine. But you've got to stay alert. You've got to stay connected. You've got to keep your spirit tuned to the frequency of heaven. So don't go yet. Don't close this page and forget what just happened here. You were chosen to hear this message today, and that means you're chosen for what's coming next. Type Amen, share this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next word. Because the best part of your story is about to begin.